Hello, my name is Renee and I'm going to be teaching you how to make a hanging mason jar light. And we're going to have, in your kit you should have a jar with a tool in it and some lights. You should have a small coil of wire and you should have safety glasses. And this is a project that you can assemble on your bench that you made earlier. So inside the jar, you're going to take the lid off. You should have a pair of needle-nosed wire cutters and a string of fairy lights. To make your hanging lantern, you're going to take the tape off of your wire, and it might try to spring out and poke you, so just make sure you're holding it really well while you take the tape off. Put those there, and you should have two pieces of wire. One's kind of short, one is pretty long. We're going to start with the short one. So I'm going to take that wire, I'm going to hold it right in the middle, and I'm going to kind of bend it around itself so it looks like that. And I'm going to grab that loop that I made with the pliers and kind of spin everything around one time. And it doesn't have to be super tight, it's fine if that's all you have. So it should look like this. And then you're going to take your jar, put it around the jar, and bend it around itself on the other side. Okay. So now that I have the wire twisted on the jar right like this, I just want to snug it up a little bit. So I'm going to take my pliers and grab both things and twist the whole jar so that it's nice and tight. And now I have my two tails sticking out and I want to turn those into a loop. So I'm going to use my wire cutters and I'm just going to bend it into a little circle. And this one's a little bit long, so at this point I'm going to trim it. And to do that, I'm going to put my safety glasses on. Because when I trim wire, it might go shooting off in any direction. So I'm just going to take this little wire cutter part of my snippers and snip. So there goes my little piece. And if that poked me in the eye, that would be a real bummer. So that's why you want to wear your safety glasses. And now I'm just going to bend this down. And it looks like I have two little loops here, and that's fine. I'm just going to kind of pinch them together until they look kind of like that. Now we're going to put the handle on, which is the long piece of wire that you have left. And before you do anything, you want to think about how long you want that handle to be. So it could be really long, or it could be a little bit shorter. I want to make mine a little bit shorter, so I'm going to cut a little bit of it off. And once again, I'm going to put my safety glasses on because, like I said earlier, we want flying wire to hit us. Put that over there. Now I have this the length that I want it, but I need some way to attach it to these loops that I made. So again, I'm going to take my wire cutters and my needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to make a little hook on the end. So it doesn't have to close all the way, and it doesn't have to be very big. And then we're going to do that on the other side, the same handle. So it should look like this. And then I can just hook them on to the loops that I made, bend them up a little bit. Now I have a handle attached. So there's one more step, and that is to take your fairy lights out of their bag. And there's a little battery pack here with an on-off switch, and then this is the string of lights. And they're all kind of coiled up on themselves, so you might have to take a minute to uncoil them and figure out where the end is and what's holding them together. So they kind of wrapped around themselves. It's a little bit of a maze. They really didn't make it easy for me. Tell you what. Here we go. Now I'm making it an extra tricky loop. Okay, so now I have my fairy light wire, and I'm just gonna kind of straighten it out. And it's okay if it tangles, but we want to get it kind of spread out. That's this big mess. All right, and we're just gonna stuff it in the jar. And we want it to kind of be a big loose ball so that you get lots of light everywhere. Okay. And I'm doing the battery pack last because this is my favorite part. We're going to take this little plastic tab, we're going to pull it straight out, and that makes it so your batteries don't work. But once we've taken it out, we can turn them on. Ta-da! We made a fairy light. And then you just put that in there, hang it up anywhere you like in your room, and you have a beautiful hanging light that you made yourself.